Yeah, me and Emma are working and redoing the forms so they're cleaner and easier to do, so, yeah. We're working on
So
fixing
you're
it.
just gonna be doing the paperwork software, basically, because that's what it is anymore.
It's paperwork. It's just processing and making sure that.
I seen his name and my toes curled.
Yeah, no, I'm the one handling it, it's not.
She doesn't know that either.
Yeah. Don't miss him at all. Has anybody heard whether he fell off the end of the earth or not?
I don't know that anybody cares if he lost it.
No?
Just move on to that. Okay, good evening. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Buchanan City Commission, Monday, February 23rd. We do not have any recognition. If everybody would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Absolutely. Communication, please.
All right, good evening, everybody. I'm Nate. I'm the pastor of Buchanan Christian Church. Let's pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, tonight we lift before you the city of Buchanan, every resident, every person who calls this town home. And we ask your blessing on each person, each family, each household. And we lift before you the city commission and everyone who works for the city in any capacity, and ask your blessing on them as well. I pray wisdom for them. I pray your wisdom and blessing upon our business owners, that their businesses would flourish. And we pray that in this community we would be able to be good neighbors who love our neighbors as ourselves according to the teaching of Jesus. We ask these things in his name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Nate. Okay, we have roll call, please.
Whedon,
Yes.
Swem,
Present.
George. Here. Money,
Present.
and Bianski.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, at this time I'll take a motion to approve the agenda. So moved. Do you have support?
Support.
Very good.
I already
All in
wrote it
favor?
down.
Aye.
State. Okay, at this time we will take public comment on agenda items only. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes and approach the podium and state your name for the record.
Oh, yes, I do. You know why?
We can't see it.
Doesn't look like anybody's here.
There's one reason for that. There's only one reason. You're gonna listen to me. Norma Ferris, 304 North Oak Street. I am questioning item 11, traffic control order. What are you talking about? I don't remember what happened before. It was postponed. What are we talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to stop parking on certain portions of Days Avenue
All right.
because of the proximity of the other cars on the other side of the street. So on that item, we'll discuss that a little bit further, but it's more of it's a safety issue.
And what is ordinance 2026-04-448? Unidentified, what are we talking about?
So it's an ordinance to regulate short-term rentals in the lodging and scheduling for those.
So it goes with what we've already talked about with others.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
we've done a public hearing on those, and this is just an introduction of that.
It's an amendment to the actual unified development code, not so much the short-term rental, but the actual zoning code of it.
Okay. Oh, that's right, we did find some
One more.
confusion.
We'll be talking about it.
Yep.
All right, public hearing for 102 Front Street, which, east or west?
That would be west.
107,
Yeah,
Los Angeles
yeah.
is west.
It's the building, it's the space behind the old Heart Attacks building.
Okay,
That's west. Yeah, that's west
It'd be the north side of the street.
all right.
northwest. Oak Street's the dividing.
There you go.
Oak is the divider or Main?
Oak is the divider.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right.
Now you're on your own.
You're good.
Thanks, Norma. Okay, see no more public
I will
Thank you.
move to approve the consent calendar.
Thank you. Do we have support?
I'll support.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. We do not have any scheduled matters from the floor. We do not have any reports from departments, committees, or boards. Moving on to unfinished business, traffic control order number 260. Consider approving the traffic control order, which was postponed at the city commission on the meeting of November 24, 2025.
All right, so yeah, this is coming back for you, this, what they were, Harvey had brought this to your guys' attention. It is, the two streets, narrow the reason why is because it's unusable roadway thereby, reducing the safety operation of the motor vehicle. So it is effective from Days Avenue to Northeast Chicago and south of East Row. There was a nice map in there for you guys to look at, and Mike's here if you have any questions.
Is that gonna be the west side or the east side of the road?
West side.
So it'll be along the common?
South side of the road. No, west side.
West side, it's
West
west
side.
side, and it's not gonna be the entirety of it, but where it comes up,
Yeah,
right after
right,
Rose
now you got
Street.
me all mixed up.
Where Rose Street is heading towards McCombs, and then a few spots after McCombs, and then one spot coming back northbound near the stop sign, because people are getting ticketed for parking too close to the stop sign. I've seen that happen, so.
I got it.
The map made it really easy to
Yeah.
understand this time.
Yep.
So it's basically right there from the old Rose Street to the stop sign?
Correct. Yep.
On one side of the street?
Correct, just on the west side.
Alright.
Yep.
It actually has a little spot right here on the east side as well, right?
Correct. Yeah, it looks like about 2 car lanes.
Right,
On that east
right.
side.
Oh,
Yep.
stop.
Yeah,
The
and it's,
turn-
they've
the
been,
turning lane.
they've been having
Yeah.
trouble with cars parking too close, and they take a right-hand turn, they don't see cars coming.
Yes.
Yeah, so-
you can't see that.
Yep. It's kinda like our Main Street issue, so. Okay, well, at this time, I'll take a motion on number 260.
This is money I'd approve to, I move to approve traffic control order number 260 as presented.
Thank you, do we have support?
I'll support.
Okay, further discussion? Okay, roll call please.
George,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Bianski,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
and Swam.
Yes.
Very good, thank you. Moving on to new business, introduction of ordinance 2026.04/448. Consider accepting the introduction of the said ordinance and an amendment to the Unified Development Code, short-term rental regulation, lodging and scheduling of public hearings.
So our current unified development ordinance that was adopted in December of last year does not talk about short-term rentals at all. So we need to, the closest, there's one reference to vacation homes. We need to modify that language, the definition of lodging, to remove the term vacation homes. We're adding the definition of short-term rental, which is similar to what's found in the code of ordinances. And we're also creating an overlay district to better depict what is allowed. So we're just using the existing map from the original ordinance and putting it into the zoning ordinance, so it's clear, so it'll be an overlay, it's not a new, it's technically a new zoning district, but it's an overlay district. Because the overlay district covers several different zoning districts, so we can't just call it out as a use. And we're also defining bed and breakfast.
Oh, perfect, no, that's great, and I know you referenced in here tourist homes, that was really,
Yeah.
doesn't seem like, seems like kind of a derogatory statement to some degree, right?
So we're one of our first of our changes to the ordinance.
Well, you're
So the
proving,
planning commission will be conducting their public hearing during their meeting in March.
very good, well, you're proving your worth again and again, so thank you for that, appreciate it. Okay, at this time I'll take a motion on the introduction.
I move to accept the introduction of ordinance 2026.04/448.
Just read the rest of that too, just to.
Need the rest of it?
Yeah, because we're gonna have
Also
to-
directed to Plan Commission for recommendation and schedule the first public hearing for said ordinance on March 23rd, 2026.
Thank you, Dan, do we have support?
Money I'll support.
Okay, further discussion? All right, roll call please.
Money,
Yes.
Bianski,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Swam,
Yes.
and George.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to item B, resolution 2026.02/02, consider resolution authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the Buchanan Fine Arts Council for use of the tent shop.
So this usually comes before you guys every 5 years. Myself and Tony made some changes to it. Just kind of, We took the time down a little bit more. It was 5 years, we've done 3 years now. We've also put in a couple rules and regulations just about maintenance and cleaning and use of the property. Fine Arts Council did look at it and they agreed to it, so they were totally okay with it too. We're just looking for your guys' approval for it.
Very good.
Aren't you on the Fire Arts Council?
Okay.
First meeting will be.
I'll take a motion on resolution.
Move to approve resolution 2026.02/02 as presented.
Thank you. Do we have support?
I'll support.
Thank you. Discussion?
Yeah, so this is actually for the tin shop and not for, don't the arts people own that building?
No.
No,
The
we-
city still owns that, the old library too?
No, city does not own the library.
No, just the tin shop.
Just
We
the
give,
tin
this
shop.
is permission for them to use it.
The name is confusing because, but the library is owned, by, I forget the name of it, Rody.
Rody
Rody.
It does, there are some clauses back into it related to the city and Gateway, but this is unrelated to that.
I'm still confused.
The Fine Arts Council only is related to the Tin Shop Theater,
This is just a tin shop.
just the Tin Shop Theater.
So the library is not as, it's not a city property
No,
either.
independent,
So do they pay taxes on that building, or is that a
it's a
charitable?
nonprofit, so no.
It's a nonprofit. Okay,
Oh, I get you.
and we do this, or we used to do this, cause I never remembered seeing one of these.
We do this usually every 5 years.
Okay,
So it was due, but we wanted to make some changes just so we had some understanding, going forward.
alright. Thanks for clearing that up.
Roll call, please.
Bianski,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Swam,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
and Money.
Yes.
Very good. Moving on to item C, adult use marijuana retail permit renewal. Consider approving the renewal application for the adult use retail permit for QPS Michigan Holdings high profile cannabis shop located at 804 East Front Street.
Yeah, so standard renewal for high profile, everything came back good, even their background came right back. So everything looked good in the application, recommending for approval.
Very good.
And you're taking all this over now.
I have taken marijuana permits over. Permits are usually handled in the clerk's office for the most part. Obviously, Kristen has her building and zoning, but these kind of permits are handled by most clerks anyways. I just actually joined a group throughout the state of Michigan to get a better grasp of it. But I work closely with Rich on these anyways, so it just made sense to just take it back in office, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, I'll take a motion on the retail permit.
This is Money. I move to approve the renewal application for adult use retail permit for QPS Michigan Holdings, high profile, located at 804 East Front, as presented.
Thank you, Larry. Do we have support?
A second.
Thank you.
I do
Discussion?
have,
Yep, go ahead.
Question.
yeah, Gladys did most of the legwork when we did all these, but they used to have 10 people in here. I'm kinda glad to see that, or, there's no representation here at all tonight.
So this one, Ian and I talked to, so this is a lot of me trying to figure out who to talk to. Actually Alex and, not Alex, but, I have their names written on here. They were supposed to come tonight, they are not here. The other one, it was Jake and Ally were supposed to be here tonight, they were supposed to have representation. I'm guessing that they just probably got marked off their calendar. But if you were wanting to contact them, I can.
No, I
give you
mean, the
Ian's
thing
number.
about it is, it's just, I'm kinda happy that we're that secure in this. I mean, I was here at the beginning of it, and it's just nice to see that, cause all they do is show up and wait for our nod anyhow.
Yeah.
Because it's just a matter of
It's because
dotting the i's and crossing the t's.
Yeah.
And they're so heavily regulated by the state that it's, between the notices that I get from the state of Michigan, even when Rich was handling this, I was still doing all the noticing for that, so I got to see like how much they actually have to do. So yeah, it's making sure that everything's turned in, making sure that nothing's changed on the application, talking to them for a little bit, and that's it. So,
Great.
yeah.
Okay.
And we have great people here too, so.
Yeah.
it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
They're all easy to get.
Yeah, they're all
along
easy
with.
to work with, they get back to you right away, so.
Yeah.
I think that's a testament in not only your time, but what we've done over the years with cannabis is that we've held everybody to a different standard. And when I talk to people who have cannabis moving in, you've got to set that boundary,
Yeah.
like right away, and then make them meet that standard.
Yes, for sure.
We know that's not happening in a lot of cities, so.
We've only had one violation, and that was last month.
Was it last month? I didn't see that one
Yeah.
come through.
The only other one was when,
It was 7 engines.
Zenleaf painted the side of the building.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't a violation. That wasn't a ordinance.
Oh, that's what I mean, yeah, yeah.
No, as far as marijuana, the city of Buchanan, cause I get them notices every month, the city of Buchanan just now had one violation.
After all these years.
Yeah.
That's
So-
pretty good.
And I mean, I sent it to Tony right away, and
Perfect.
guy was up there, so I mean, it was not a big, you know, I mean, the state's gonna be all over it, but,
Right.
it's nothing extreme. But it just wanted, yeah, and as far as Zen Leaf, that was just a billboard sign
Yeah,
situation.
that was a local ordinance issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Too big.
roll call please.
Yep.
Whedon,
Yes.
Swem,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
and Bianski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item D, adult use marijuana processor permit renewal. Consider approving the renewal application for the adult use processor permit for Boone Labs located at 107 East Alexander Street.
Okay, so this one, Rick is out of town for, he was gonna be here, but this one was a little bit difficult just because their permit expired right about the 2 months ago. They had some turnover and we had some turnover, obviously. Talked to Rick, he was great about it. He literally got me the next day. He was in here making sure the application was filled out, payment was. I said I'd put him on this meeting as soon as possible to make sure that he was up and going and everything was good. So you will see him again this year because there was some overlap with this permit, but otherwise, we're just waiting on the background checks, but I don't see anything. So, I'm still recommending approval, just pending background checks.
Okay, I will take said motion.
I'll move to approve the renewal application for adult use process permit for Boone's Lab at 107 East Alexander pending background checks.
Thank you. Do we have support?
Support.
Thank you.
And
Discussion?
now, they weren't late for the state though, were they?
That's what triggered it, was the notification that I got from the state and me calling Rick and dealing with Rick, and he was absolutely amazing about it, like, he was here the next day, so.
Rick is the owner?
Yes,
Okay.
Rick Boone's is.
So
the
have you
owner.
been in touch with the state at all? or
No,
is-
I didn't need to after that. When he came down and I said they'll have the approval, I'll send the stuff to the state tomorrow, once I have your guys' is okay.
How does that work then though? I mean, with,
So like notification attestations is what they're called. They send them out all the time, checking with the clerk to make sure there's no ordinance changes, that they're up on, permitting wise, that everything's good to go. So they contact us, and if they don't hear from us, they send us a million emails or phone calls, then come next, so. Just like,
okay, so
hey,
it's just a paperwork,
yep, just a
basically,
paperwork side.
so, you know, I mean, I didn't know how nasty the state might be on this.
That's not, actually, this is state of Michigan. This is probably one of the most competent departments I've ever dealt with, so they're quick.
Yay,
Mhm.
okay, good.
They don't mess that money up.
No.
That's what it comes down to. Okay, roll call please.
Swem,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Bianski,
You,
and Whedon.
Yes. Thank you. Moving on to item E, BSNA software system. Consider approving the purchase of BSNA cemetery software.
Okay, you've heard me talk about this for about 5 years, about upgrading our software system. So, I kinda gave you guys a recommendation. This was, budgeted for. I know the finance department, Courtney had talked to you guys, the finance committee talked to you guys about it. It did come in really low from what we have gotten from other cemetery programs. I've gotten anywhere between 32 to 37,000. BSNA came in at 8,000. I had budgeted 10 for it, so under budget, awesome. But we are looking to make that switch to make sure that we are unified under everything, and it is a much easier software. Right now Shannon has a hard time at the cemetery because he's gotta connect to the server out there. He can't always connect, which leads to coming into City Hall or calling me for information. We only are allowed 2 users, which is a problem because it doesn't like to log out, and then we have to call IT, which causes us bills to call IT to get our server switched over and say, hey, we can let people in. I'm recommending it. This is what I was trained on. This is what I used. It's a really good software, and it integrates with our BSNA software that we have right now, so.
And this will be in the cloud as well.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yep.
Just wanna put that on record. Okay, I will take a motion on the software.
This is money I move to approve the purchase of the BSNA software in the amount of $8,525.
Thank you. Do we have support?
I'll support.
Great discussion.
Never mind.
how much was the old service?
Well, when we purchased it, or what we pay now?
Yeah, what we pay now.
We pay about $600 a year right now. It is significantly cheaper for our service right now. But I will tell you that the customer service is absolutely terrible.
They're dead people.
Well, it doesn't matter when you have funeral homes calling you or.
Well, we're trying to find where they go.
Yes.
That's what the problem is.
I had to dig.
It's not the people who are complaining,
Yeah.
it's us that are trying to use the system.
Nobody out there to complain, trust me, on this
our reoccurring, I thought a lot of that was upfront costs,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't remember it. Yeah, okay, so now I've talked.
No, I knew it.
I know, yeah, you're okay. That's
I
awesome.
just didn't know how much, so you give me any numbers for it.
Very good. No more discussion, roll call please.
George,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Bianski,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
and Swam.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to item F, scheduling a public hearing for March 23rd, 2026. Consider scheduling a public hearing for the proposed sale, lease, or exchange of city-owned real property consisting of a portion of 102 Front Street.
Yep, so this is just directing you guys, there is a portion that we're going to, the, commission is gonna consider selling just a little part of 102 Front Street. We're gonna hold a public hearing, we'll have a little bit more information out, but per the city charter, you guys have to direct me to hold that public hearing, so.
Okay. All right, I will take a motion on the public hearing schedule.
I'll move to direct Clerk Langston to schedule a public hearing for March 23rd for the proposed sale of a portion of 102 Front Street.
Thank you. Do we have support?
Money I'll support.
Discussion.
There was no RFP on this for a very good reason. So I mean, if it gets out there, this is actually the city accommodating a business owner for all intents and purposes to put it in short term. They should have done their due diligence, they didn't. And they were probably told something that they shouldn't have been. So that's all I got to say about that.
Okay. Roll call please.
Money,
Yes.
Bianski,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Swam,
Yes.
and George.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to item G, budget workshop, considering setting a budget workshop for one of the following dates.
So we threw out some dates at you guys, trying to get something on the schedule. We don't really need a motion, but I'm just kind of looking to see what works good for you, then we can let it know in the public. If you guys, if none of these dates work for you, we can always come up with a couple different ones, but I didn't put them too early. I didn't put them too late.
Well, 3 of the 5 are working, so
Yeah,
we'll go with them.
If we need to do a later one, we can, but we're kind of running into,
The only date I can do out of those is the 17th.
I'm good with 17th.
None of them are Monday, are they?
17th is
not-
Tuesday.
no, I don't think I chose Monday. I stayed away from
It's
Monday.
actually St. Patrick's Day.
I'm good with 17th if there.
The 17th will work for me too.
You guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Calla, for not
Thanks,
doing
Calla.
7 AM.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yes.
Okay, if everybody's good.
So 17th at noon?
Yep, I'll put that. You'll send out an invite.
I'll send out an invite and I will send you a budget workshop, little sheet for you guys too. The department heads they got it this morning, so they're working on their top 5.
Cool.
So we'll present those to you guys at that meeting and we'll hopefully have some input from you guys about what you guys would like to accomplish with this next budget year.
Okay.
And figure it out so we can compile the rest of that budget.
I love it. Very good. Well, we've been pretty expeditious about that years
I'd
past.
say, since we've been doing them, it's been lots of
Great.
So,
Moving on to item H, expenditures, consider approving the expenditures in an amount of $76,075.90. Dana?
I didn't talk,
Just keep up to date.
I didn't talk to Tony today because I forgot he was gone, but Mike can answer my question. Did you get a random again?
Oh, yeah.
So you got 2 randoms in a row?
Yeah.
It's very
Okay.
random.
I mean, the computer does it.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand all that.
Like, what we find is the people who get drawn once will get drawn up to like 4
Right.
or 5 times in a row.
Yeah,
And it's the same person
yes.
every single time, so,
Yeah, they like to pick on the same guy.
yeah.
They get a
Fine
clean
about
test,
that.
they want a clean test.
That's fine,
I mean, it's how it works. Nobody understands it, but that's how it works.
yeah.
I complain about how much it costs all the time. I think it's ridiculous that a mandatory test costs that much.
Yep.
But, I mean, I didn't know, and then since you're here, the tires, we bought a front tire, and then one rear tire. Do you know anything about what I'm talking about?
A front tire and a rear.
Let's see,
Yeah, it doesn't tell the vehicle.
It doesn't, yeah, it's just.
it just gives me a vehicle number, you know.
It's probably the police.
I was gonna say, what does it say?
Yeah, my question would be is why do we buy one tire and not buy a set? If you
So
don't know
I
that answer, that's
What's
fine.
it, do you know what it's under?
think,
It's on page 65.
We're almost towards
if I was guessing, it was because they hit something with the tire and it was unrepairable.
Well, I'm
Like
guessing
it
Or you road tied them.
I mean, I don't know what fund that is. off the top of my
I
head.
mean, one was $315,
No, it's not that much.
and the other one's, so I don't know, maybe they did buy 2 new front tires. Did you find it on page 65?
I'm on 65, I don't see it.
It's 939 and 202, whatever those.
Invoice number 23740
I
and
think she's looking
23741.
for the general ledger.
Yeah, I'm looking for GL number.
Yeah,
Tell you where it came out of.
939
It's not that important. I'll talk to Tony about it, but after looking at it, it looks like they probably did buy 2 front tires, $315. I'm sure they bought 2 front tires,
I don't think that was.
but it's not that big a deal, so, this is what Tony and I usually go through. I'll move to approve if it's okay, Your Honor.
Absolutely, yep.
The expenditures in the amount of $76,075.90 as presented.
Thank you. Do we have support?
I'll support.
Okay, discussion. All right, roll call please.
Bianski,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes,
Swem,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
and Money.
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, at this time, we do not have any communications. We will take public comments on non-agenda items only. Please approach the podium, state your name for the record, and keep your comments to 3 minutes. It's your time now.
I know. I am Dennis Mori, M-O-R-I, from the Buchanan Business Boosters. Sometimes I mess up. I just wanted to tell you about our St. Patrick's Day event. It's actually the Saturday before. It's a Lucky Ducky Kids Festival. It'll be downtown from 9 to noon, so it doesn't clash with the run that's happening from McCullum's. We're hoping to get done a little bit earlier than noon. So we'll be kicking off the rubber ducks from the creek next to Hilltop Creekside Cafe, and so that's where they'll start. And then the finish line is in the duck pond. So, and we have people with nets and stuff to get them. It's all been approved by the state, by the city, by the state. And I also talked to the police chief, and they're gonna provide officers for crosswalk, because we don't want these kids running across Redbud Trail.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure. We have volunteers for the other intersections on Front Street, but that we wanted the police for. We're gonna have a bunch of different items going on. The tattoo parlor will have temporary tattoos. The loading dock will have a karaoke, kids karaoke going on. And there's like 12 different things going on. So I just wanted to tell you all about it. No cost. The cost of the rubber ducks is being covered by, actually Tony gave us some money for that. And Poor Decisions and Apex are covering the cost of all of that. So we don't have to worry.
Poor decisions.
Yeah, Tony's a poor decision. Tony's made a poor decision by giving us money.
I doubt it.
No, we very much appreciate it, and we've got a lot more sponsors this time instead of just the chamber. You know, we've got a few more besides Poor Decisions and Apex. The Scarecrows are giving us money. Redbud Insurance is giving us money. Hein Electric, and we're in negotiations with the DDA and the chamber. So we'll be able to cover our costs this time. As you know, the Valentines went off really well. Kate's writing a PR release saying what happened and how people's businesses were affected by it, and it's all good news. So that's that portion of it. I have a question. I had heard that there was, and I don't know what to call it, a motion, an ordinance or something for businesses, specifically downtown, that are not open, that the city is working on, and here's another word that I don't know is correct, fining them for not being open, or imposing some kind of cost for doing business that, you know, we don't need obviously we don't need empty storefronts, everybody agrees with that. But I just had heard that there might be something coming to encourage them. I'm so glad Tom Jolly's opening his second location, so that building's not gonna be boarded up or closed. But, you know, there's a lot of other businesses that need a little push. So I just wondered if that's something that's coming up on the agenda?
Dan's in charge of it.
I'll answer that in my comments.
Staff is working on a draft ordinance right now. I believe it's going to the planning commission for their review before it moves forward, so it's taking some time.
No, and but it's great that it is
That's good.
happening, because I think that when you look at downtown, we certainly don't, I mean, if a building's for sale or for rent, I understand. But if, you know, it's an empty building that somebody has it, or somebody's in there just sitting,
Cold storage.
cold, yeah, he's in cold storage, you know. But if there's a building that, you know, isn't open, I mean, I'm not saying specific days or hours, but my 3 minutes is up, thank you.
Thanks, Dennis. Okay, I see no one else approaching the podium. We will move on to city manager / Callan.
And just congratulations from last Friday. It was
Oh,
an honor
yeah,
to be
that's
there and
great.
see it.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great thing. Love to see McCombs win. Love to see Buchanan be there. And it's nice to see because it was like North County was there too. And there was a lot of talk about the divide. So it was happy. I was very happy to be there and be a part of it and see it. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hoping was hoping we'd all clean up.
We were
but-
so close for a trifecta.
Yeah. But it's great.
Yeah, it was like winning the gold at the Olympics for sure. Okay, moving on to commissioner comments, Mr. Beyonce.
I lost all track of mine thinking about the Olympics. Participation trophies in the Olympics with North County, that makes a lot of sense. As far as, we're going through this whole process with the plan to try to get a lot of these businesses, and it'll be, even once we pass it, it's gonna be probably a 4-month process, because it just takes, we have to go through it all, then we have to do the hearings. But yeah, we're trying to get businesses to at least put something in their stores. There's nothing about dictating hours of open,
Right.
there's none of that. So, but we're trying to do away with the storage or just completely empty. Somebody thinking that it's their long-term great-grandchild's retirement budget, so.
Yeah, because it affects the other businesses. Because if someone comes to Buchanan from another city, Cassopolis, and they're walking around and, you know, there's
Yeah.
six businesses that aren't open, it
It
doesn't
just
look,
takes
it
time
doesn't
to get
look
the
great.
wheels turning.
No,
I
I'm
mean, the
glad,
city
glad it
looks really good
started.
downtown now, for sure, and Mike, you know, did you get any leaves picked up last week?
No, we didn't have time to pick up leaves last week, but we are hoping that this does melt again and we will go back at it again.
Right.
Awesome.
I had a pretty serious discussion with him this week about burning a lot of our paper, but then I got to thinking about it. You're recycling everything in the same box down here at City Hall, aren't you?
Yeah, we recycle most of it. Very rarely. We don't have to call our shred company, but once every 3 or 4 months, if that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, and, I mean, we can burn it, legally we can burn it, so we just don't wanna burn the bottles and we don't wanna play with the separation. But I'm
And
pushing.
actually, we don't have to separate this, we were just at the landfill and they asked everybody to not separate at this point. They would
No,
like
I'm
it-
talking about separating so we can burn it.
Oh, gotcha, yeah, yeah,
We can
yeah.
only burn the paper.
Correct.
But I was looking, you know, the school, you know, this is an ongoing thing with the school too. And I'm really pushing hard to get a stove out there too, boiler, a wood
Mhm.
boiler. Because there's plenty of wood, we just have to start working on getting it rounded up. So, that's all I got tonight.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Money?
Yeah, I too, like Kala, had the opportunity to be at the Mental Center last Friday, and it was really a great pleasure to be able to sit there and have Buchanan win that community award. I'm surprised Mark doesn't have the trophy.
Gosh, you could've just left it alone.
Well, I mean,
I haven't staged with
it's
the
got
other award.
fingerprints dug into it where he was carrying it all around. But it was a big moment for all of us that were there.
You're proud of it.
And it was just really great, and also.
Did you go like this one?
Actually,
Oh,
I
hell,
did.
yeah.
I did. I paraded through that place.
Yeah, he had it on top of his head with a string tied around it like a hat. So.
I might have rubbed it in a little bit, I might have rubbed it in a little bit.
Congratulations to McCollums for what they did. Now, I wanna say thank you for this. This has turned out to be a really good idea.
Oh, yeah.
We can flip through there and grab that. We all usually read it thank you for that. And, yeah, hopefully the snow melts, Mike will get the leaves, the rest of the leaves picked up, so that's great news.
We didn't do any,
Leaves and
we
Christmas
didn't do any leaves during leaf season. just
Yeah, I
so
know.
it's clear.
I'm well aware of that. You know,
We didn't plow any
when the
snow
snow-
during snow season.
I know.
When the snow went
Facebook
off-
is just amazing.
Yep.
And I get on there, believe me, Mike, I get out there and I message the ones, especially the Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous.
Yeah, oh,
I
love
really
them.
go after them
I
hard,
love them.
but I don't do it publicly, so.
Well, and just talking about that, you know, we do have our, I forget what they call them, the keyboard
Warriors.
lawyers or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have some negative remarks, you
Oh,
know,
I
on
got
our,
him in jail.
But Larry took
the
care of
trophy we
it.
win, but hopefully that was taken care of too. So, anyway, thanks for this commission, for everything that they do. Thank you for our staff, because we know they all work hard. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. George?
Yes, so I wasn't able to make it Friday, but, huge congratulations to our staff, Tony, we can't forget about Tim Lynch, and just everyone who was involved, and even to the residents that were patient and understanding during the, construction. Wasn't easy, and it definitely was, something we probably will never forget, but, that just shows how different we are, and how our staff just stands out amongst the others, and I'm partial, but whatever. Anyway, I just think that's awesome, and I'm so happy and so proud of our community, and hate that I had to miss it, but, you know, life is life, so. Congratulations to McCollum's too. Just, it's great to have something great to look forward to, and I'm excited to see what we accomplish in the coming years, so that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Swint?
Yeah, big thank you to the team to get to this point. Big thank you to the Southwest Regional Chamber. They've been a great partner of ours the last 5 years, and I think we are gonna continue to see their faces more often, with the new partnership between the Buchanan Chamber and them, and under Arthur's leadership. So they continue to be Buchanan first partners, and I look forward to seeing what's next there. I saw in our weekly update this week, we still had approximately 40 rental property owners that have not signed up for their safety inspections yet. If you're watching this video, which I'm sure they're not, your fourth and final went out, so you had enough notice. So
Very good.
that's it.
Thank you, sir. Like the other commissioners, it was an absolutely amazing time. Yeah, and I may have been a little bit more boastful than I was probably welcome to do, but Buchanan has come a long way, you know, and everybody knew it. That was the resounding statement I think we heard throughout the entire day was, you know, whatever Buchanan's doing, keep doing it. And the Facebook people may not believe it, but I can tell you other communities know it, and to be quite honest, they're a little jealous. Cause Dan, you lived through some tumultuous times. I've seen my fair share, and these two have. You have. Thankfully you haven't. Mike, you may have seen a little bit of troubled waters over the years.
Well, I've been here for.
That's true. So, the most important part was to have your peers make that decision. I think that's the biggest takeaway, is that it wasn't anything that was done by a committee or somebody that was paid off. These were people who just did live voting in the moment with their phones and acknowledged that what Buchanan is doing is definitely on the rise. It was great to have Randy there, representing his business and himself and Kate, and to have McCollum's win at the same time, and it just, yeah, it was a pretty neat experience. So I can't wait for that thing, because it's gonna grow. They're gonna need twice as much space eventually. So thank you for everybody on the commission. Thank you to the public for their patience, and yeah. So with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Also move.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And this,
I'll support, please.
Oh, there we go. I just moved right on.
you did.
Look at, I was great through the whole thing tonight. I mean, it's really good. I didn't even have to be reminded for Patrick. I don't need him. Nothing. No. Dan.
You were done.
I know.
Sweet.
Those tires are for cop cars.
That's